Kelvin MacKenzie's here, and of course he's laughing. We'll find out why he's laughing in a minute. But let's talk about this story that I spotted in the Times today about, this is the latest, Wes Streeting, by the way, who's now on the way out because there's been loads of people briefing against him over the weekend. You must get rid of this man, he's disruptive, he's anti-Keir Starmer, get him out of the cabinet. He's come out today and said he wants to give doctors, GPs, bonus cash payments for giving away fat jabs to people. This is completely wrong, isn't it?
Well, the thing that makes me laugh about this, for instance, look, if you're fat, there's a very good chance that you're going to die early. So there is a benefit to be had in dying early for the government because you then don't pay out the pensions.
No,
right?
indeed.
So I think you've got to look at a balance sheet on both sides, right? So I'm trying to be caring and sharing in this.
It's not working.
But the other thing you could try doing is save yourself a lot of money by putting revolving doors into clinics.
Yes.
And if they can't actually fit in the door, then they should go away, stop eating pies, stop eating donuts, and stop trying to claim in some rather odd way it's due to your DNA.
Yes.
There's a very good...
Glandular. That used to be the problem, didn't it?
And, you've got the other one I like is I've got big bones.
Yes.
But the reason the bones are big is because you've got so much fat on them that can otherwise you'll collapse.
I had this from my personal trainer when I first started doing training.
Hold on a second. The Britain's poorest man, right?
I got this from him because when we started doing these kind of leg exercises, and he said actually your legs are quite strong. And I said, I think that's down to the fact I used to play a lot of football. He said no. He says it's down to the fact he's been carrying your weight around for about the last 20 or 30 years.
The world's strongest legs.
So,
But mind you, you've done pretty well, haven't you?
I have done very well, yeah.
Why don't you go on the fat jabs? Everybody I know,
because I don't trust them.
Middle-class women I
don't
know.
trust them because, one, they haven't been in place long enough for anyone to know what the side effects are. And everyone I know who has tried them say they're kind of like joy suppressors. They basically mean that you don't enjoy eating, you don't enjoy drinking, you don't really enjoy life.
No, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
There's no question of not enjoying it. You give up drink, okay? Everybody I know who's been on it,
because you just don't want to drink.
You simply don't want to drink, and this is what's causing a massive problem for the restaurant business. This is why shares have gone down of these big food chains. Is that people aren't going out as much?
Right.
Because what is the point of being given a whole big plate of rather nice-looking food where you don't fancy it? So the other thing they've done is reduce the size of the plates.
Yeah.
The knock-ons have been enormous.
Well, I think Greggs have done the same thing. Greggs have reduced the size of their sausage rolls and all the rest of it, and they're saying it's because people's appetites have gone down.
Right. Well, actually, do you know what? I love a Greggs sausage roll.
Greggs are very good.
It's number one on my list.
Is it?
Yeah. Of those things. So sometimes when I'm going through Westminster Tube Station, there's a Greggs.
I know it well.
The Greggs to the right there.
I know it well.
I go through rather late, we'll say 8 o'clock, right? Therefore, I get the scrag end of the sausage rolls.
We used to, back in the sort of day 2019, when we used to have what we called the tent of shame, the talk radio tent down on College Green. We were surrounded by all these...
Don't tell me now they use it for the only viewers they've got, or listeners.
They've lost it, actually. I don't know what's happened to it. But we used to go down and do the 10 to 1 show from down there, and we would always stop every morning, stop at Greggs, pick up some sausage rolls and eat them through the course of the show. Absolutely brilliant. And, I mean, they've somehow managed to hit on an incredibly kind of successful formula. My personal favourite is the steak bake. I haven't. The steak bake's very good.
I haven't drifted into that.
No, but yeah, you're right. Okay. I mean, the restaurant business is suffering. There's a piece in the Sun today talking about the number of nightclubs that have shut down because people aren't going out and there's just nobody spending money.
London has gone right downhill. Yeah. It used to be a fantastic place to go out and about. Obviously, at my age, I have to be careful. I have to look after myself. It's not easy looking like this, right?
You're looking very well, though. I mean, it's quite a miracle, actually. I mean, I know what your life has been like, unlike most people. And, you've got no business even being alive, actually.
I used to be a rather different size, but unfortunately, you know what I've had to do? I've had to go down your rather gloom path that you're painting here. You're right. I had to give up alcohol, basically.
Yeah. And you must be saving a lot of money, though. I mean, that's one incentive, I suppose, to do it, isn't it?
I am saving money. I tell you who doesn't. who hasn't decided when faced with this choice? Nick Ferrari.
Yes.
Okay. Nick Ferrari, very good breakfast show.
Brilliant.
Brilliant breakfast show.
Yeah.
It's stunning that he manages to keep the numbers up. I saw he did bloody well in the Ray Giles the other day.
Yeah.
Very decent guy.
Still doesn't speak to James O'Brien. They don't do a handover, do they?
No, they don't do a handover, and therefore that's another reason we should like him.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, another tick in the box.
Yeah, another well done. And so he is. I think it would not be unreasonable to say huge.
Yes.
Okay. And basically, he has to have somebody walk in front of him with a red flag. But he
looks quite healthy, though.
He does. From the neck up,
right.
He looks great,
yeah.
right? His trousers he sends to India. They use them as a grain silo, right? Anyway,
I had lunch with him once, right? And I think it was, and I thought, I got home and I thought, did I pay for that? And it said I only paid for half of it. It was like 400 quid for lunch.
Yeah, no,
you know.
and that's because he likes a decent bottle.
He does.
He? And so he went on the Monjaro or whatever.
Did he?
Now it didn't work for him.
Right.
So he did what some others have done. He drank through it.
Right.
And you can't drink through it.
No.
So you don't lose the weight. And when I said to him, Nick, why don't you just give up alcohol?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not giving up alcohol. But he's in splendid shape. But so he's beaten off. So we have a face now. If you're poor, you're likely to be larger than if you're wealthy.
Which doesn't make any sense, really, does it?
It's probably based on intellect, probably.
But I mean,
say you're damaging yourself.
Yeah. I mean, they talk about people who are poor, who have bad diets and they eat all the wrong things, and and they always say to me, I mean, I've had so many conversations with nutritionists about stuff like this over the years. I quite like to cook. I mean, you could make a vegetable soup for hardly any money at all. Which is very healthy. It's got nothing in it which is added. There's no nasty chemicals or anything like that. And I just wonder if people just don't know how to cook, and therefore they're all constantly. I mean, I don't. This kind of Deliveroo society doesn't help. But that's ridiculously expensive now as well. My son, who's staying with me in London, he said he made the mistake of ordering a couple of burritos one night. It was about 45 quid.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so it's not cheap. So how are these poor people ordering all this food?
Okay, so let's take somebody. If somebody could contact us from somewhere like Gorton or Denton or somewhere, which is a poor neighbourhood, look down your high street. Yeah. And what are all the shops there? They are all fast food,
they are.
Chicken shops and the like.
Yeah.
And so the question then is, that is a health issue.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you shut them down, all that will happen is that they then go and get their Deliveroos from Manchester or something like Manchester city centre. But on this question...
But we shouldn't be paying for other people to go on fat jabs, should we?
No. And actually, so what you're saying, so why doesn't everybody... On the basis of it should be free for all, why should anybody pay for almost anything?
Yeah.
Lots of what I would describe as the middle class, or people who can afford it, and probably more likely to be your plumber than your financial advisor right now, to be honest. So why are they paying? And you're saying that the skin, who are even larger, and are even a more burden on the NHS, and therefore a burden on the taxpayer, why should they get it for free? So I think everybody should pay. But that comes down to the argument, which is the thing which will either win reform or lose reform in 2029, as they say, we should go over to some European style of insurance. Yeah. And that way we're all paying in, and therefore we can then make a decision on what we want to pay for.
But again, you go back to one of your sort of favourite bugbears, which is that, you still have this two-tier society where you've got a whole bunch of people over here who are not contributing anything at all, who are getting everything for free. Yeah. And under a new insurance type system, they would still get everything for free, wouldn't they?
Yes,
because you wouldn't be able to withhold
that is
care
true.
for them.
It is true. If you've got a certain kind of skin, you'll get it. But unfortunately, unless you want riots on the streets, I'm afraid you have to hand out some money. What's happened is that the balance has got completely wrong, and now we have a government actually who hates people who create wealth, they actually look upon them as mugs.
Yeah, they do.
Of whom we can take away their money.
Yeah.
So I feel I hate this. I hate this government. But the other point I thought that your other guest made beforehand was, I don't know whether you've been around the UK lately. Some of the changing shape of our countries. I was in Dalston on Saturday.
Right. We're sort of East London, right?
East London.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I know about Whitechapel.
Yeah.
Whitechapel, like 50, 55, perhaps 60% Muslim. Actually, I was shocked about Dalston, which is a very black neighbourhood.
Yeah.
Right. Which is made up of Afro-Caribbeans and black Africans come to live there. And if you got paid 10 quid for every chicken shop in the high street, you'd be a millionaire by 150 yards. The thing is, we have allowed so many other people in. It's difficult to know what is the dominant provider of what our future looks like anymore.
Well, we've been playing it. We played it already once. We'll play it again while you're still here. This Urdu campaign promo by the Green Party up in Gorton and Denton. And they've actually done it in Urdu, aimed specifically at the Pakistani population, who they think will all vote Green.
Okay, so I was in contact, or he was in contact with me with a friend of mine who travelled through Gorton yesterday. He lives just down the road. He said it's often said that it's 30% Muslim. He said, forget that. He said that is more. It's more like north of 50%.
Wow.
He said literally he drove through it and it had that generic moment that he had in Birmingham.
Yeah.
He said there was nobody. There were no white faces at all. And so the battle, Gorton and Denton, a fantastic moment. We're only, a couple of days from it. It's almost like a political excitement. So either the Greens win with that argument, i.e. there are more of people of colour who feel disaffected by the political.
And who are never going to vote Labour because of Palestine.
Probably not going to vote Labour because of Palestine. Or there are enough white people enormously concerned about what their future looks like. But the one thing they're not going to vote for, they are not voting Conservative.
No.
Right? So
they're not even getting a mention, are they?
No, they're not getting a mention. I think it's a massive problem for them. And also, secondly, the other people they're not getting a mention are Labour.
Yeah.
They're wandering around. They know that they are completely done for. So Burnham had a triumph.
Yeah, he did.
Because
he did. Well, I said that on the day that he was told he couldn't run. I said he'll be heaving a huge sigh of relief here because his career has been saved, because he would have probably had a pretty good chance of losing. Starmer went up there yesterday and refused to meet anybody from the public. He just went and did a sort of stunt with the local Labour Party.
What do you mean he didn't go walkabout?
No, he walks into this room where they're all cheering and clapping as if, that's the local kind of reaction to seeing Keir Starmer. It wasn't. It was all a fix, and he wouldn't go out and actually meet anybody from the ordinary members of the public because he knew he would get booed and he knew that he would get heckled.
Right. Well, when you reach that point as Prime Minister, after all, he's only 18 months, 19 months in.
Yeah.
Right. So he's already getting this. I hate him turning around saying, we want to change this country.
I know.
Actually, do you know what?
We want him to stop changing the country.
We want him to stop changing the bloody country.
Exactly.
And we'd like it to be successful and homogeneous.
Yeah.
We're not going to make it like that. It's every 5 minutes, another X thousand people arrive here under some guise or another who want to fundamentally, they want to change the country.
Yeah.
There was a very good piece by Matthew Syed, in the Sunday Times. Right. He talked about the balkanisation of Gorton and Denton. He went up there for 2 days.
Right.
And remember, Matthew Syed, I'd say, was liberal, actually. Anyway, he did his 2 days, and then he wrote his piece. Right. His last paragraph was the devastating piece, which is basically saying, look, we've been lied to. The numbers of people in our country who fly Palestinian flags, but have no sense of being British, has grown.
Yes.
We've been lied to.
Oh, it has. No question.
And politicians should hang their heads in shame. This was a piece, 2,000, 3,000 word piece. Yeah. Look, they're behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Very few people are going to read that, right? And very few people are going to get to the end of it. But the truth about the matter is that Gorton and Denton represent much that has changed in our country and much that worries ordinary people, because they say, well, this is where we are today.
Yeah.
You know, huge areas of the country actually changing before our very eyes. What's that going to be like in 20 years' time? What's it going to be like for our grandchildren?
Well, it's not really any better.